Good morning, guys. I'm Alexei Rojas Fedorushchenko, Arsenal under-21 and Colombia under-20 goalkeeper. Come and join me for a day in the life. So every morning I have a vitamin C tablet that I put into water. I have a big glass of water. Make sure that I get the hydration levels up even on a day off. And then there's 3 tablets that I take every morning. Vitamin D tablet, very important here in England, especially now that we've got no sunlight in the winter. Then I take a vitamin C tablet that dissolves in my mouth that I suck on, which is for the same reasons, good for immune system. And then also a multivitamin tablet, which has all sorts of vitamins to make sure I'm not having any deficiencies on that side of things. Sleep for me is very important. I think it's the best performance enhancing drug that's legal. I do enjoy cooking quite a lot, yeah, especially when it's just on my own in the kitchen. I do quite like that, like having that peace of mind to just have my own space and enjoy the cooking. Yeah, normal training day, there's breakfast and lunch at the training round, but for me, I don't like to have a big breakfast in the morning, so what I usually do is at home, I will make a smoothie. I'll have some dates, I'll have some yogurt, almond milk, raspberries and oats, blend that up and then drink that on my way to the training round over the course of about an hour. And that way I feel lighter to go train, and then lunch I'll always have at the training round. And then usually what I do is I've got a box with me that I take to the training ground, fill it up with food, and then I've got that for dinner. The club, in fact, had plastic containers for us to take home, but one of the things I really pushed for was to have compostable containers that are made out of cardboard, so that's what they have now. A lot of the players still do rely on those, which obviously isn't ideal. I prefer to bring in my own glass box, which I can wash and I can reuse so that there's no waste, but it's still a step in the right direction. When it comes to sustainability, I think that the players, they see the examples that I give and they want to try and be more sustainable that way as well, because they understand the importance of it.
Was you always into football growing up since a little boy?
Oh yes, since he was very small, probably from the age of 2 years, we took him to soccer talks. And they were playing football with balloons. And since then he really displayed his passion for the sport. Then later on, we were living in another town, and behind the house there was a football pitch where they would play games every weekend. I took him there once. He went running after the ball, and he was able to kick the ball up and down the field so in such a natural way that it was obvious that he had a talent to play football.
Do you enjoy your dad watching you play?
Yeah, I always love it when he can come down and watch me, because he can see the end result of things, and I know that he'll always give me honest feedback after the game.
We have a very strong connection, the whole family, and especially him and me. We have a very strong connection. We're talking about this project on a daily basis. We're always planning, we're always implementing different steps, and we are quite fortunate to be so close to the training ground.
My room's a mess at the moment. Usually it's spotless, but tonight I'm traveling, so I've had to make sure I'm packing everything. And when I travel for football especially, I like to make sure that I've got everything just I would be at home. So personal stuff, I always like to take a book with me. So look, this is a book I'm reading at the moment, 48 Laws of Power. So I'm one which reads a lot of self-development books, and previously I've read a lot of David Goggins' books here. Like you can see him up here, Never Finished, Can't Hurt Me. He's a big inspiration for me. I really like. I love his mentality and his drive to always be working hard and never settle for wanting to be average. So that's one thing that really inspires me. And generally, the things I'll take, obviously I'll take all my football kit, my boots, my sliders, gloves, all of that stuff. I'll take supplements. I've got a massage gun in there for recovery. And then also I take my laptop and a couple of notebooks so that I can continue studying. I'm doing a degree in sports science online, and also continue studying Portuguese. It's about doing what we can in the things that we can control. The real key change that we can have as a society is if we can really get fans to be on board with sustainability and sustainable change through sport, especially through football, where people are so connected to their football teams, they feel such a strong relationship with them, we're really going to be able to drive change, because football has a huge audience and it has such a big power, such a big responsibility to impact people. It's like, give the example of, let's say a Premier League player is wearing a new pair of boots. All the little kids want to wear that new pair of boots, everyone's talking about it. Imagine if it was the same thing with sustainability, where we have a top player talking about sustainability and showcasing some of their daily actions. I'm sure that the vast majority of people would want to do the same. And
ultimately that underlines the work of Pledgeball, doesn't it? Is that why you sort of chose to become an ambassador for them?
yeah, of course, Pledgeball is a fantastic organisation and their views completely align with mine in terms of being sustainable, looking through bottom-up approach. I'm really looking forward to the work that we're going to be able to do together. I know that we're going to have a huge impact in a very positive way. Here, I've got a very valuable shirt for myself. This is when I made my debut for the Colombian team. It was with the under-17s. We were playing against Paraguay, and it was the first time I played in a stadium packed with people. There was 15,000 people in the stadium. It was an unbelievable experience, and those 15,000 are so loud. They will have the vuvuzelas, they're like, woo, like that, making loads of noise. So it's an incredible feeling, and it's a moment that I will never forget. When I first started playing football, I was a Chelsea fan up until I joined Arsenal. Then after being at Arsenal for about a year, I couldn't be a Chelsea fan anymore, and I ended up supporting the club that I play for. And the scout that brought me in, Rob Bray, I still have a really close connection with him. When I got signed for Arsenal, obviously he was the one that brought me into the club. He knew that I was a really big fan of Petr Cech, and that was the last season that Petr Cech was still at the club. So using his connections, he's a good connected man, he managed to get me a signed shirt from Petr Cech which says, "To Alexei, good luck to your Arsenal career," which is fantastic. It's something that I wouldn't have even dreamed of when I was a kid. I would never have thought that this would have happened. And even better still was when I was 16 and I got my scholarship. He had a pair of signed gloves which he had been keeping them, hoping that one day I would sign my scholarship, waiting for that moment, and here they are. So it's a fantastic thing here to see. Here, this is the shirt when I was on the bench for the first time with the first team. That was in the Carabao Cup against Bolton, so that was a fantastic experience. Here I've got the shirt from the Under-20s World Cup in Argentina last year. That was fantastic. We got to the quarterfinals, so very fond memories here. This was from the FA Youth Cup final. Unfortunately, we lost to West Ham. So that was in my year as a first-year scholar, so it's quite a cool year. And here, this is the shirt from when we went on the pre-season tour this season with the first team. So it was my first time away with the first team, and I got all the first team players to sign it. So obviously, I do like to dress quite well. I tend to dress quite formally, a lot of polo shirts, quarter zips, long sleeve button-down shirts. But I only buy what I need to buy. I'm not one to keep buying clothes. Once I've got what I need, that's it, I'm happy with that. What I always make sure to do is when clothes get too small for me, I give them away to my brother. And if my brother doesn't want them, or once he grows out of them, we always take all of the clothes and give them away in Colombia.
A couple of guitars here. Are you a bit of a musician in your free time?
Yeah, I love playing the guitar. To be fair, I hadn't played it for a number of years until recently. I used to play a lot when I was younger, and obviously I finished my formal studies, I finished school. I've had a lot more free time in my hands, and I love getting home, picking up the guitar and playing a bit. It's a great way to disconnect without having to always be on a device. And I also, one which I've played a lot, I like Shape of You.
So make sure you get the squad for when Arsenal go to Ipswich, and hopefully he's watching.
That would be fantastic. So I've got a number of shirts here. Here's one from Bukayo Saka. This one he signed to me, which is really cool. Then this one was this is for my dad. So just before I was going to sign my professional contract, as we know, Per Mertesacker is the academy manager at Arsenal, my dad got a shirt and asked Per to sign it, and he wrote a nice message on there. So that's very valuable for us, and Per is a fantastic academy manager. He's the one that really preaches about better people make better players. So he's really instilled great values into the club. Then a couple more shirts here, very Colombian based, all of them Colombian players. Got Gerson Mosquera from Wolves. This is his match worn shirt from the Wolves-Arsenal game, first game of the season. A shirt from Radamel Falcao, one of the most famous Colombian players of all time, which is fantastic. He signed 2 shirts. One of them here, that one's for my dad, and then this one is for my brother, which is very unique. And the most recent shirt from my collection, the one that's gonna hit the most headlines at the moment, is Luis Diaz's shirt from the Liverpool-Arsenal game that just happened recently. So a great collection of Colombian players who I all have a good relationship with. It's something that not many people can say that they have, so I'm very happy to have these with me. So the plan today is to do some filming with Pledgeball this afternoon, so I've got to go up, get changed, have some lunch before we get going, and make sure that the fish out there are also not left starving the whole day. Yeah, so every morning I come out here, feed the fish. We've had this pond here since we moved to the house. There's more than 50 fish in here. There used to be 3 big ones, and then they had little baby fish. So in a moment, once I've put the food out, you'll see them all come out. If we take a step back a little bit so that we're not scaring them away, they'll all start coming out slowly. Look. I used to play a lot of football here on this patch of grass when I was younger, but obviously it's far too small now. You won't be able to see it, but I don't know if you can tell, but over there is a little bit of a dip, just slightly. That's where the goal mouth used to be. We used to have a goal, and that used to be no grass at all. But over the years, that's managed to recover itself. But there's still a slight little dip from when I would dive around there. My family's always been there for me. Ever since day one, they've supported me through the difficult moments, through the good moments, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. I know that I couldn't be where I am today without their help. And one day I want to be able to give back to them after I'm successful because of all of the help that they've given me. I want to be able to really show my gratitude and show what they deserve for all of the help that they've given me over the years. I've had it nearly 2 years now. This was the first car that I bought myself. It's very pleasant to drive, it's a very smooth drive, and also it limits my impact on the environment. 0 emissions from the car, and I know that I'll always be driving an electric car. I couldn't have it any other way. We're here at an energy from waste plant with Pledgeball, and we're going to be showing you guys what happens to all of your waste.
I'm so glad you've come here to find out for yourself and see it for yourself.
So this is how much waste. How much would this be? How many households? This is a lot of waste.
So this is a good size facility for one county.
This
is a small to medium one of our fleet.
I'm sure most people don't know this is what happens to their waste, isn't it?
Absolutely, you're right. Everything that is going through comes out as something that can be used. So the grabs here are moving to make room for more waste coming in, storing on the left, and then lifting over the wall in 2 places where we've got like the mouths of the facility, the hoppers. And Annetta, who's a very experienced driver of all sorts of vehicles, including these grabs, has said that you can have a go with her instruction. Would you like to?
I'd love that. I'd love that. I'm excited. This is going to be quite cool. Oh, cool. I'm playing a part in the waste process.
What's your initial thoughts, having seen it all?
It's very eye-opening to see everything that's happening to our waste and understand the processes behind it. Everyone has a responsibility, everyone has a part to play in this process, and it's about the collective action. Think about millions of people doing it all together. That's when we're going to see real change. Jessica, it's been fantastic going around. I really appreciate you taking me around. It's been so insightful to come here, know what's happening to our waste, and I really appreciate your time, all your expertise, and it's definitely a place that
I would want to come back to and explore even more.
Thank you so much,
Really
Alexei.
appreciate it.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
really loved having you
It's been
here.
really, really enjoyable.